Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Coder. I'm Chris, and I'd like to welcome you all back. I know I kind of took a weekend off here, had to get a couple of things in order, but we are back and ready to get started. There is only one quick thing I'd like to announce, and that is that my girlfriend and I are have decided that we're going to get married. So I'm going to be getting married soon, actually in June, and so that's exciting. I'm really happy about that, and I can't wait. It's going to be a wonderful day, and as part of our wedding, we decided that instead of doing like a regular gift registry for people to buy us gifts and stuff for the wedding, we're going to we've set up a GoFundMe page to help with some of the costs associated with our wedding. So if you guys would like to check that out, feel free. I've got the link will be right here, and you can just click on that, check out the GoFundMe, even if you don't, feel like, sending any money or donating anything. That's fine. Just check it out if you get a chance. It's pretty neat. And yeah, if you do, donate anything at all, then that would be really, really appreciated. As you know, I do all these tutorials for free for you guys to enjoy, and I don't ask anything in return, and by no means am I asking, you guys to donate anything, but, it's a thing that we're doing, and we would much appreciate anything you guys would like to do to help out. So, that out of the way, we are going to go ahead and jump right into it. Last time we worked on this, we implemented the AI for Blinky and Pinky, okay? And as you'll remember, we added a little point here for Pinky to be inside the ghost house. All right, so, and then there's a release timer to let Pinky out at a specified time. And then each of these have their AI for where to go to get to Pac-Man. There's another part to this, and that is each of these ghosts and the other ones that we're going to add are going to have home locations. So when they go through their modes, like they have their chase mode and their scatter mode, when they have their chase mode, when they're in chase mode, their target tile is always going to be whatever their AI specifies gets them to Pac-Man, okay? When they're in scatter mode, their target tile changes to their home node, and each home node for the ghost is going to be at the corner of each, it's going to be at each corner, okay? For each ghost, it's different. So like here, this is going to be Pinky's, this is going to be Blinky's, this is going to be Clyde's, and this is going to be Inky's. So let's go ahead and set those up real quick. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take this one here and we're going to duplicate it. First, we're going to select our transform tool and we're going to duplicate it. And then we're going to press V for vertex snapping. Okay. And we're going to select the top right corner. And we're just going to drag it down to right here so that it's diagonal to the corner. Then we're going to duplicate it again. And we're going to select the bottom right corner and we're going to drag it up to this corner over here. And then we're going to duplicate it again and we're going to select the bottom left corner and drag it over to that corner. Duplicate it once more and we're going to press V and go to the top left corner and pull it down to that corner. Okay, so now we've got one at each corner. And now to make them easier to see what they're for, we're going to go ahead and select each one and we're going to change its icon. So we're going to click on the top left one here and we're going to select the icon, and this is going to be for Pinky, so we're going to select the purple. And for Blinky, which is over here, we're going to change the icon and make it red. And for Clyde, we're going to go down here, select it, go to the icon, change it to orange. And for Inky, we're going to select it, go to the icon and change it to blue. Okay, so that way we can easily tell which one of these is going to be the home for each of the ghosts. All right, so the other thing we need to do is we need to select all of these now Okay, so we're just going to hold down Command or Control if you're on Windows. And with all of them selected, we are going to set their neighbor size to 0. Alright. And then we're going to go into our script, our ghost script. Okay, so here, and double click on the ghost script. And I'm going to close all these other ones because we don't need them right now. And right here where we've got our public node starting position, we're going to go down and create public node home node. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and close our script because we don't need that right now. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to import the orange ghost and the blue ghost, which are Clyde and Inky. Orange and blue. Alright. And then we're also going to select both of these, and we're going to change their filter mode to point, and we're going to change pixels per unit to 16. Oops, not 16,100. 16. And then press apply. Okay. And we're going to drag both of these out. Actually, no, because that'll create an animation. We're going to pull out one at a time. So we're going to pull out the blue ghost and the orange ghost. Alright, so the orange ghost we're going to set order in layer to -1 because both of these are going to occupy this space right here. The blue ghost is going to come out first and the orange ghost is going to be underneath it. So if we set the order in the layer to -1, it'll be below Inky, which is set at 0. Alright, so that'll look right. Now what we'll need to do before we do anything else is we'll need to duplicate this pellet again. Right, so we'll select it, duplicate it, and we're going to move it over here to just about there. The X position is going to be 0. The Y position is going to stay at -9. And we're going to need to change the neighbor, because right now it's pointing at pellet 194, which is the pellet that's right here, where Blinky is. So we need its neighbor to be this pellet here, which is pellet 195. So we'll go back here, and we'll change this to pellet 195. And then we're going to go ahead and drag Inky over there. Alright, and I don't know exactly what position that's going to be, but it's going to be 15 and 16 for the Y. And Clyde is going to have the same, so it's going to be 15 in the X and 16 for the Y. And see how he's below Inky? You can't see him. If we were to change the order in the layer to a positive number, he would be on top. Alright, so let's change that back to -1, so it'll be below. Alright, so at this point, if we play the game, we're going to run into an issue. And if we look at our console, we'll see this message here. It says array index is out of range. That means that in our script, in our game board script, okay, we're trying to add something into our array, but it's outside of the bounds of our array because our array size is 28 by 36. So what we've done let's go back to Unity, is we've added these right here, and these are trying to be added to the array, but they're outside of the bounds. So we need to tag these, okay? So we're going to create a tag, and we're going to call it ghost home, okay? And these are case sensitive, see how I capitalize the H? So we're going to have to remember that when we check for that tag. So we'll save this, and I'm going to select all of these again. And then we're going to change its tag from untagged to ghost home, okay? So now when we go back into our script, we can add a condition here. We'll say and o.tag does not equal ghost home. And you see how I capitalized the H here again? Alright, we have to make sure that we use the correct case. So we'll save that and close the script. And now when we press play, play should occur like it has been, with Blinky moving first, and then Pinky is going to be released, and then Inky and Clyde are just going to stay where they are for now because we haven't implemented their AI yet, okay? So before we get into that, let's go ahead and go back to our scripts and open up the ghost script. All right, and we have to change something. We have to go into our choose next node, which is right here, and see how we're just getting the target tile. Okay, we have to check. All right, we have to say, well, if our current mode equals mode dot chase, then we want our target tile set to whatever get target tile returns. And as you'll remember, get target tile returns a target tile specific to the type of ghost's AI. Alright, so then we'll do else if our current mode is equal to mode dot scatter, then we're going to set our target tile equal to home node dot transform dot position. Okay, so what's going to happen is because when the ghosts first start out, they're going to be in scatter mode for 7 seconds. Blinky is going to immediately start going towards here. Let me go back to Unity. Blinky is going to start immediately going towards. He's going to start taking the fastest path to get to his home node, which is right here. And then once Pinky is released, he's going to chase Pac-Man at first, but after the first initial 20 seconds of being in chase mode, you're going to start seeing him head up to his home node. Okay, so let's go ahead and press play and see if that works. And look at that, Blinky isn't moving at all. And you know why? Because we didn't set his home node. Alright, so let's go to Blinky. And see, his home node is not set at anything. So we're going to set his home node equal to pellet 210. So we're going to drag pellet 210 over here. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing for the pink ghost. And that's pellet 209. And the blue ghost, his home node is pellet 211, and we actually need to add the ghost script to him. So we'll do pellet 211 for the home node. And the last ghost, orange, which is also known as Clyde, add the ghost script. And we are going to, his pellet is 207, his home node. So we're going to set his home node to pellet 207. Alright, and we also have to check the box that says that he's in the ghost house. And we might as well go ahead and say that he's the orange ghost. We're going to do the same thing for the blue ghost. He's blue. And he's in the ghost house. Alright, so each of these have the scatter mode and the chase mode timer. And you'll see that the first 7 seconds is scatter mode. Okay, Pinky gets released 7 seconds after the game starts. So he's going to be in chase mode. And he's going to chase Pac-Man for 20 seconds. And then in 7 seconds, both Blinky and Pinky are going to start going towards their home nodes. So let's give that a shot. See how Blinky is moving towards his home node over here? After 7 seconds is up, Blinky's going to start going towards Pac-Man. See, now he's turning around and he's trying to find the shortest distance to Pac-Man. So after 20 seconds elapses, you'll see Pinky and Blinky changing direction and going towards their home nodes. And we'll see that in just a few seconds here. See? Now they are going towards their home nodes. They're going away from Pac-Man, so they're in scatter mode right now. And scatter mode only lasts 7 seconds, so they actually never even reach their home node. Okay? So now what we need to do is we need to actually add the AI for Blinky and, for Inky and Clyde. These names are so crazy. So let's go into our ghost script. And what we'll start with is we need to add methods for releasing the blue ghost and the orange ghost. Right? So void release blue ghost. And we're going to do if ghost type equals ghost type dot blue and is in ghost house, Then we're just going to set is in ghost house equals false. All right. And the same thing for the orange ghost. So we're going to do release orange ghost if ghost type equals ghost type dot orange and is in ghost house. Oops. Is in ghost house. Then is in ghost house equals false. And then in order for these to actually work, we have to go to our release ghosts method and see how we only have if ghost release timer is greater than Pinky release timer, then release pink ghost. That's great, but we can't add that yet because we have to actually add the release timers for the orange ghost and the blue ghost. So let's go all the way to the top where the variables are. Okay. And we've got public integer Pinky release timer equals 5. Okay, so I was wrong. It's actually 5 seconds. All right, so now we're going to add in here public integer Pinky, no, that would be Inky release timer. And what did I have that one set at? Okay, so Inky release timer, we're going to have a 14. And then we're going to create another release timer for Clyde. So that's Clyde release timer. And we're going to set that one at 21. So now that we have those, we can go to our release ghosts method. And we can add if ghost release timer is greater than Inky release timer, then we're going to release the blue ghost. And then we also add in if ghost release timer is greater than Clyde release timer, then we're going to release the orange ghost. Right. So now that we've got all of that, we can now allow these ghosts to actually get out, which is cool. And that should actually work at this point. So if we go back to Unity, press play, we have errors that need to be fixed, of course, because why not? Is in ghost house. What happened here? Did we forget to do something? If is in ghost house. That's set to an instance of an object. Ghost type. Oh, okay, here. This is incorrect. Alright. So let's try that again. Let's clear these. And let's press play. Alright, so we've got object reference not set to an instance of an object. And that's probably, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's see if our ghosts are actually going to get released. They are not getting released. Let's have a look here. Target node equals current node dot neighbors 0. So fill out 195. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add in our AI for the blue ghost and the pink ghost. Alright, so we're going to do vector2 get blue ghost target tile. Sorry, the blue ghost and the orange ghost. That's so bad. And for right now, we're just going to return vector2 dot 0. Yes. And the same thing for vector2 get orange ghost target tile, and we're going to return vector2 dot 0. And then we're going to go in and in our target tile method, get target tile, we're going to add an else if ghost type equals ghost type dot blue. Target tile equals get blue ghost target tile, and else if ghost type equals ghost type dot orange. And say target tile equals get orange ghost target tile. All right. So let's see how that looks. And we're still getting null reference exception. Okay guys, so after a little bit of troubleshooting, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but you see how the difference here is that we have our red ghost and our pink ghost, and both of these have tags for being a ghost. Alright? Ghost. Ghost blue and ghost orange are not being tagged for being ghosts, which means they are actually being added to the array in the indexes so that when it was going and finding nodes, it was thinking that this was the node, and since this one doesn't have a node and it doesn't have any neighbors, it's saying that a null reference exception happened. Okay? And the way I traced this down was I went into the ghost class and I added a debug statement right here that basically gave me the tile and the ghost. And what it was returning was tile pellet 206 for ghost pink, tile pellet 194 for ghost red, tile ghost blue for ghost orange. That did not make any sense. So it should have said tile and a number instead of ghost blue. So it thought ghost blue was an actual pellet. Honest mistake, right? So now when we press play, we have no errors. We have pellet 194 for ghost red, pellet 212 for ghost orange, pellet 212 for ghost blue. And we'll see ghost blue, which is Inky, should be escaping here any minute. And remember, his target tile is set to vector 2.0. So he's going to just kind of float around this corner right here, because this would be vector 2.0. This is where 0, 0 is. So he's just going to go around, or not, and come back over here. Clyde is pretty much doing the same thing. Oh, right. They do go the opposite way when they have to go to their home, which is why they're going this way now. See how they're all dispersing? And now he's coming back. So, with that in mind, let's finish this up. And first we're going to go in and we're going to remove all these logs, the debug statements. And you guys probably don't have to because you didn't put them in. So, removing debug.log. Alright. So now all we have to do is we have to add the AI. So we take those right here, get blue ghost target tile and get orange ghost target tile. Alright, so the blue ghost the way we do that is, alright, I have that here. Alright, so we remove the return vector 2.0 and we're going to add some comments in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the position 2 tiles in front of Pac-Man, and then we're going to draw a vector from Blinky to that position, and then we're going to just double the length of that vector. Alright, so that's going to look something like this. First we need to get Pac-Man's position. So Pac-Man position equals Pac-Man.transform.local position. Then we need to get Pac-Man's orientation. Pac-Man orientation equals Pac-Man dot get component Pac-Man dot orientation. And then we're going to get the X and Y position of Pac-Man. So Pac-Man position X equals mathf dot round to int, and we're going to pass in Pac-Man position dot X, and we're going to do the same thing for Y. So Pac-Man position Y equals mathf dot round to int Pac-Man position dot Y. Okay. So then we're going to get our Pac-Man tile. We're going to do a vector 2 Pac-Man tile. That's going to equal a new vector 2, and we're just going to pass in our Pac-Man position X and Pac-Man position Y. And then we're going to create a target tile for where Pac-Man is. So target tile equals Pac-Man tile, and we're going to be doing 2 times Pac-Man orientation, and then we're going to create a temporary vector for Blinky's position. So vector 2 temp Blinky position equals GameObject.find, and Blinky in this case is called Ghost. Transform.local position. Now we're going to do a X and Y, so int Blinky position X equals mathf.round to int Blinky temp Blinky position dot X, and we're going to do the same thing for Y. Blinky position Y equals mathf.round to int temp Blinky position dot Y, and this is because we need to know Blinky's position because we need to draw a vector. Okay, so we're going to do Blinky position temp Blinky position equals new vector 2 Blinky position X and Blinky position Y, and then we are going to get the distance between Blinky position and target tile, and we're going to multiply that by 2, so distance times equals 2, and then we're going to set our target tile equal to a new vector 2, and it's going to be temp Blinky position, or we'll just do Blinky position, temp Blinky position dot X plus distance and Blinky position dot y plus distance. And then we're just going to return the target tile. So that's probably the most complex AI out of all the ghosts, right? So now all we have left to do is the orange ghost. And that one, we're going to calculate the distance that Clyde currently is from Pac-Man, so the distance from Pac-Man. And then we're going to say if the distance is greater than 8 tiles, targeting is the same as Blinky. If the distance is less than 8 tiles, then the target is his home node. So same as scatter mode. So what that looks like is, first we're going to get Pac-Man's position. Pac-Man position equals Pac-Man dot transform dot local position. And then we're going to get the distance, okay, from Clyde. So float distance equals get distance transform dot local position, which is the position of Clyde, and Pac-Man position. And we're going to set our target tile, and we're going to set that equal to vector 2.0. And we're just going to say if distance is greater than 8, do something. Otherwise, if distance is less than 8, do something else. And the else is easy. We're just going to set target tile equals home node dot transform dot position. Okay. And at the very bottom, we're going to return target tile. Oops. If the distance is greater than 8, we're just going to set our target tile equal to a new vector 2. And we're going to do mathf.round to int. And we're going to set Pac-Man position dot x. And same thing for y, mathf.round to int. Pac-Man position dot y. And close that up. And that should be it. That should be that. Should we try? Hopefully it works. Let's have a look. Press play. No errors. Blinky's been released. He's going to his home. Inky's been released. He is following Pac-Man. Here comes Inky. Oh, and it's a good thing that I'm not doing collision detection yet, or else I'd be dead. Here comes Clyde. And since his distance isn't greater than 8, he's going to be on his home node. See, he's just going to keep going around in circles. So now when I go further away, Clyde is actually going to start tracking me down. Alright, and Inky is just kind of off doing his own thing. But chasing me nonetheless. Because he's also like worried about where Blinky is, right? So Inky cares about Blinky's position and cares about Pac-Man's position. So, and, yep. So, that is that. That is that. We're getting really close to a fully functional game. I think what we'll do next week is do the animations for the ghosts, because they all kind of look dopey right now, right? I mean, unless they're following us going right, which their eyes are pointing right, Just kind of looks weird when they're going left, up, or down because the eyeballs are supposed to follow them around. So that's what we're going to do next. Sorry about the confusion earlier with the whole like tagging thing, but yeah, don't forget to do that. Otherwise, you're going to run into the same problem as I did. And sometimes, you know, we just kind of have like a brain fart and we don't know what we're doing. So that is what I'll leave you with. If you guys enjoyed the episode, give me a thumbs up. Comments go down below as always. And don't forget to subscribe and tap that little bell for the notification if you want to be notified of new videos. Because otherwise, YouTube's like, hey, you're a subscriber. And that's great, but we're not going to let you know when the Weekly Coder puts out new videos, because that's really inconvenient. Anyways, yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my Twitter, too, because Twitter also, you'll get notified if there are new videos coming out. So, Twitter, Facebook, there's also the Weekly Coder website. Oh, and don't forget, like I said, check out my GoFundMe page for my wedding. All right? See you guys later.